Hey guys, it's Maymay and I am super excited to bring you my first ever wreath kit. Yep, I said the word kit. You want kits? We have this one in very limited supply, I have to say, but I do have some kits of this wreath. It is the easiest thing to make. It is the perfect beginner wreath. If you've never made one, you should try this one. If you can't do the kit or don't want to do the kit, I'm even giving you all of the measurements and all the ingredients you need for this wreath in the description below. So keep watching. So in your kit, let's run through what you'll get real quick. You will get a wreath form, okay? You're gonna get 3 colors of mesh. We're gonna do white snowball mesh, green, lime green snowball mesh, and you're also gonna get this pretty pink snowball mesh. And then the star of the show, and my favorite part, is this guy. This is the bunny that's gonna be jumping through your wreath. How cute is this bunny? He's so cute. This is his bottom, here's his feet, and these are his ears, which we're gonna be using. So you'll get that in your kit. And you'll also get all of the chenille stems or pipe cleaners you'll need to make this happen as well. You will need to add your scissors, your cutting mat, things like that, but other than that, you'll be set to go. Now this is my first ever wreath kit and we're gonna do this one super simple this time, so anyone can do this one. And like I said, it's while supplies last. We only have so many to go around. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut away this price tag so I don't forget. I have a tendency to forget those things. And then we'll put this aside, I don't need it right now. So what you're gonna do first is take your rolls of mesh, okay? And I'm going to layer them on top of each other. That one's gonna come back at me. And I'm just gonna line the ends up like so. And you can do this by yourself. You don't need help. I know this is gonna run back and kind of chase me a bit, but you can do it all by yourself. So there's 2 lined up. Then let's put this guy down and just match the ends up. And this is how I cut mine all together. I like to cut them all at the same time. And just roll that to the edge of the table or even off the table if you want, you can do that. Now this is 10.5-inch wide mesh. But when I measured it myself, it was wider than that. It's actually 11 inches, and that may be because of the little, the ends here. So we're gonna cut 11-inch squares. So I'm gonna slide this down like this onto my cutting mat. And you have a couple options. You can use your rotary tool, which is fine. And this is not included in the kit, so you will have to have one of these of your own. So I'm gonna slide this here, find my 11-inch mark, and slice. I have to get where I can hold on just a little bit there. So there's 3 11-inch squares, one of each color, okay? Or you can do it with scissors. I'll show you that too. I love to use my big Tim Holtz shears for this. And so if I just come right here to the 11-inch mark and I can just slice up. This wreath, first off, is perfect for beginners because it couldn't be easier. And secondly, it is so forgiving. You need to trust me on this. You're gonna think it's not looking good, but it's very, very forgiving, okay? So there is 2. We need 24 of each color cut like this, okay? So I'm just gonna run through and do all my cutting first. Okay, so you got 24 of these cut. Now, it's so easy. Here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the colors apart. You're gonna do 1 of these at a time. What you're gonna do is just from the raw edge, which is where you cut, not the finished edge. You want the finished edge facing the outside of the wreath. From the raw edge, we're gonna roll this into a cone. All right, so I'm just rolling this up and I'll show you what I get. Just a cone, just like this. I've made wreaths like this before. If you watch me do wreaths like this, this is one I think it's called the loopy wreath, the loopy loop wreath. But I've made these before and you guys love them. You guys make them too because they're so easy. There's my second one and then my third one. Now I'm doing one little thing to these. This mesh is really, really good mesh. It's very thick and got a lot of body to it. So I'm putting these guys together like this and I'm just doing 1 twist in the middle, just really so I can get a hold of it good. And now that I've got it, I'm gonna take a chenille stem, put it over the middle, wrap it around, and then twist this as tight as I can. The tighter you get the middle, the better your loops will be once you put them to the wreath form. So that's 1. Let's do 1 more together. Same thing, all 3 colors. Does not matter which way you lay your colors. Actually, it's better if you don't lay them all the same. So if you start with pink, maybe start with green the next time, what have you. You can always twist them around on the wreath, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. We just want these 3 colors on the wreath. Okay, do a little twist just to hold them in the middle. Again, that's just something I'm doing to be able to grab the middle. You don't have to do that. You can just wrap the chenille stem around and just go from there. But I think I get a better twist when I do that. I take a little of the bulk out. All right, that's 2 of these, so we need to do 22 more. So I have my pile over in that direction. I'll pull from those over here. This is the wreath form we're gonna use. Now I wanna talk to you about it for just a second. It is not a work wreath form. What that means is it doesn't have like the pieces already attached to it and sticking out that you would put this inside of. Here's why. I could have done that for my kit, but so many of you guys tell me you can't find those in your own area, like in your own craft stores. So I thought if that was the case, I would show you how to use a plain circle and make the same wreath without having the pieces attached or without having to attach them and then make the wreath. So that's why we're using this kind of circle. There's another thing. I made sure I got one that has 4 rings. You can tell it has, 2 on the outside, 2 on the middle, so it's got 4 rings. The 2 on the outside we're not gonna use. We're gonna focus on these 2 rings in the center. That's where we're gonna put our pieces here. We're gonna attach them there. So what you wanna do is you wanna take your pieces that you've put together here. We'll call these our little loops. We'll take our loops. And in between these bars, these cross bars that you have right here, we're gonna put 4 loops in. And it's gonna seem like a lot, and it is. You want it nice and full and tight. So you're gonna put 4 in each one, okay? All right, so we're gonna take our little pipe cleaners, okay? We're gonna stick those around the 2 middle rings, not on the outside, around the 2 middle rings, okay? So once I've got them there, I'm just going to take this and as tight as you can, twist that on. Now, you might have to adjust them later by sliding them, back and forth. Don't worry too much about this piece hanging off. We'll deal with this in a few minutes, but I've got 1 in there, okay? So now I wanna put 3 more in each section. So, back to our loops, open up our chenille stem wires, go around the 2 in the middle, leave the 2 on the outside undone. We're not putting anything there. Bring this guy together. Don't worry about pushing it close yet. They're gonna push themselves close, but you might adjust it a little bit, just kind of slide that little guy around. And then we're gonna keep going. Let's get 4 in there. So I kind of tied this one kind of low and I can just slide it up into place to give me room for the other one. Just like that, okay? All right, 1 more in that section. All right, so I've twisted that on. So I have 4 of my loops in 1 section. I'm gonna do the same thing all the way around. And remember how I told you these don't look cute until they're done? Trust me on that. As you get to this part, it gets a little tighter. You have to kind of get in there, kind of squish these guys together. We will do a little fluffing in just a little bit, but you're just gonna keep going until you get 4 in each section. So this is my last one to put in. And as you can see, I'm kind of having to scoot everything apart under there. Not a big deal. And get that in there and wrap that around. Pull it up. There we go. All right, look how full this is now. Isn't that pretty? That's why we want to use 24 of those and really push it in there together. Now, notice how it's kind of lifting off of the work surface. I want to kind of grab those pieces and pull them to the front that are kind of laying to the back, so it'll lay sort of flat. It's gonna lift off a little bit, but you don't want all those pieces pushed back there too far. So I'm just taking my hand, matter of fact, I'll do it like this. Just taking my hand and just pushing these pieces like that. And you can tuck them as well. So if you have these pieces that are kind of flyaway, tuck them out like this. Get them to go to the front. Them being pushed to the back is not helping you anyway because you can't see them in the front. So just push them forward. All right, so there is that. Now for the super fun part, we're gonna put the bunny in. So your bunny comes with wire already attached, 4 pieces, and they're gonna work just perfect. You have these, well, they're actually in 2s, okay? What has to happen is you're gonna have to really maneuver this, okay? This little bunny's gonna sit in here like so. But you're gonna take your pieces of wire, like here's a set here, and you're gonna have to tuck it down in till you reach that first, or that innermost ring of your wreath. So I'm pushing this down inside, okay? I'm gonna wrap it around that first ring. I'm gonna flip this over to where you can see it. So I've got it wrapped around that innermost ring in here, and I'm going to just attach it just by wrapping it a couple times for now. I can come back and tighten it or loosen it in a few minutes. So now he's attached to one side. Now I need to turn it, and I want to attach this side. This is the easiest, most forgiving wreath. You will look like an absolute professional because it just does it on its own. It makes the cutest wreath all by itself. All right, then we're gonna tuck this to the innermost ring. Now when I say the innermost, that's the ring we didn't use to put our chenille stems on. It's the one on the innermost part. And I'm gonna just wrap that wire around and twist him into place. Now you might wanna kind of stop and look at him at this point. Make sure he's not too high or too low. He's looking pretty good right there for me. You can make him higher. I want him to look like he's jumping right through the middle of that wreath. You know what I'm saying? So now I have the two bottom wires that I need to attach. So let's see if we can flip him over and do him this way. So working from this side, there's one, here's the other. Okay, so I'm gonna push that mesh through because that'll help to kind of hide the workings. And I'm gonna grab this wire and go to that innermost circle and twist him on. Same thing here, I'm gonna push that mesh out, grab his little wire, and I'm gonna stick him through. I'm even gonna use one of the crossbars to kind of help me keep him kind of down a little bit by putting that wire under that crossbar to kind of hold it and then twist him. Now I can always adjust where he is on the wreath. Look at that, that is so cute. Twist him just a little bit around. Just manhandle him like so. He's so cute jumping through that wreath like that. Now we can put his ears on. Now the mesh is gonna help you with the ears. And one thing I noticed, if I put his ears on this way, although it's cute to see the pink, he's jumping away from us. So I'm gonna put his ears on like this and then curl this down to see the pink. So what you wanna do, this time you're gonna feed this where the mesh is. The reason is you want these to get down into the mesh because the mesh will help to hold them up. So I'm just gonna lay one there, I'll put the other one here and see if this is where I want it to go. Even if you wire this around some of the mesh, like stick the wires through the mesh, it will just help hold those ears upward. Okay, so just stick that guy in there and that looks good to me. So I'm gonna turn it over and attach those. Okay, so I got that one there. And I'm just gonna twist it into place. Just adjusting that where I can get it in there and twist it around those poles. Okay, there's one attached. Now let's attach this one. And I'm ending up putting this in the same spot I put my chenille stems, around those two middle poles. Took a second to get that threaded, but now I got it. Okay, nice and twisted. Let's turn it back around. Oh, he's so cute. And now I'm gonna take these ears and I'm gonna turn one down. I might not turn them both down. Let me look in the camera. I might leave one sticking up and one turned down because I think that's super cute. He really does look like he's jumping right through there. Too precious. Now I'm just gonna go in and grab the mesh and pull it around him so that it really looks like he's jumping right into the wreath. Okay guys, so on the back you have all your little chenille stem pieces. What you want to do is make sure they're all nice and tight, okay? So you can either run through and twist them together and kind of get less, like this. Just kind of hide them and then snip off the ends, which is probably what I'll do, is just kind of run through and put two together just to neaten it up. And if I were doing this for myself at home, you guys know this about me, I wouldn't trim these at all. I'd leave them right back there. But if you want to do this for a gift for somebody, I just want to show you what I do. Okay, so now that I've gone through and taken every two and twisted them together, I'm just going to come in and just snip the excess right past where I twisted them. Again, not necessary, but it's a good way to kind of clean up the back of it. Now to me, that's just a little neater and cleaner. Now, I am not going to snip away the excess wire from the bunny. I am going to twist it nice and snug and not have it just kind of flying away. But the reason is, if I were to put this in my home and then next year decide I want to reuse my bunny, I don't want to cut these wires off because I'm not sure what, wreath form I might put it in next year and I might need these longer wires. So instead of cutting them away, I'm just going to tuck them and get them out of the way. You guys know I'm all about reusing things, so I'd rather have these for next time in case I want to use them, then cut them off and not be able to use them, or have to add my own wire next time. So just twist and tug them. All right, much neater in the back, much cleaner. Let's look at the front. That is my completed bunny wreath. It is so cute. Now I will hang this with a wreath hook. I use a over-the-door wreath hook, so I'll just hook it onto the outer ring of the wreath form. But if you want to add a hanger, just use some wire or a chenille stem and just hook it across the back on your ring, and you will have a hanger for it. It's so cute. Look how cute he is. Love it. Okay, there are kits with everything you need. This is a perfect beginner kit. You don't have to have any wreath making skill to make this happen, okay? Perfect beginner kit. The link is below for you guys. And if you just want to recreate it, I'll make sure I put the measurements for everything I did in the description below. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you love him as much as I do. Look at those feet. He's so cute. And he's much bigger than you think. When you get this home and get this in person, he's big. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.